So welcome to our little preschool, and I would like to talk to you for just a minute about how to set up your preschool and some basic things you will need to get started for around $30. So there's basically 4 things that I am going to encourage you to spend your money on. And there's so much more that you can do, and I'm going to talk about the free things that you should definitely add to this. But what you want to spend your money on is one of these all-inclusive books. I have a couple examples here for you, and I'm going to tell you my favorite. But these you can pick up for on average around $10. This one was $7.50, $8, and $12. And they cover alphabet, numbers, phonics, shapes, and colors. The phonics, they're going to cover that in kindergarten, and that's going to be, review. But you definitely want to get down. Your core curriculum is going to be your ABCs, your colors, your shapes, and your 1, 2, 3s. Counting 1 to 20, and knowing numbers 1 through 5 really well. Being able to count them on a piece of paper. So actually saying 1 through 20 and counting 1 through 5. Being able to add and subtract 1 through 5. So this is my favorite book, which is the Comprehensive Curriculum of Basic Skills, and it's based on the early learning standards or your current state standards. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So that's my favorite. You've got all your worksheets in one spot. They're colorful. They're organized for you. You can do a color, a shape, a letter, a number. You could do one of those every day. You could do it once a week and practice it, or whatever that works for you out of that book. You can go straight through and do like 2 or 3 pages a day, and that's kind of what we're doing. And what I would suggest doing, because they kind of cover them quickly, you only do like 1 or 2 pages of each one. Do a book the fall before and the spring before you go into kindergarten the next year. You're going to go into kindergarten the next fall, so do 2 books, and you could get through one of those in each semester. So the next thing you're going to spend your money on is one of these writing tablets to teach them how to write their name. It's a primary writing tablet, and it has just the basic lines for them to write on. And what I suggest, your first day is going to be kind of, sketchy, because it's they're learning how, and of course they're going to want to draw on it because it's a big piece of white paper. But you're going to really try to focus on them. You're going to write their name. And I started out with 3 times, and now we've worked up to a full page. And they're just going to come right over top of you and trace. And this gives them confidence. It helps them learn the letters in their name, the sounds of their name. I'm doing first name and last name. You might want to just start with the first name and work up. And then later now, after doing this for a couple months, she's able to just on any piece of paper write her first name. So I think it's great. Also doing some slant lines and circles and curvy lines helps with pen control. And you can do the letters you're working on, the shape you're working on that week, and include it in that book, but try to get one of those tablets filled up with them just practicing their name. I think that's just really important before they go into kindergarten. The next thing you're going to spend your money on is a calendar kit. A calendar kit you can get at Amazon.com. You can get it at your local office supply store in the teacher's department, and it's going to come with all the months that you can put on the wall. That was upside down, but your months of the year. You need to cover that. Your months of the year, your days of the week, and it also has a really fun the season and the weather chart and a weather graph that they can do, which is really great. And also, I'll show you this, the little calendar numbers and then holidays. And doing that is just really fun, and it's educational for them to learn about time and weather and calendar. The last thing you're going to spend your money on is going to Dollar Tree and getting all your basics. A pack of crayons, a pack of pencils, a ruler, maybe some kids' scissors that are safe, and keep them put away. And then when you want them to practice scissor skills, you can bring it out and make sure you're there with them and practice straight lines or whatever you're going to do with that. But put your scissors away. Don't leave it in their kit. And you may want to go get a dollar box and have all their stuff in a basket or a box, something that closes. And I suggest putting that box away. After school, don't let them go in there and do art supplies, or you're going to be discouraged because all the crayons are going to get lost or broken. I suggest you taking away after school and putting it up, and then the next day bringing it back out for school. You're also going to try to go to Dollar Tree and find these 4 posters. the ABCs, the colors, the shapes, and the 1, 2, 3s. This is 1 through 20, which I thought was great. Go in the right before all the teachers get there, before school starts. So you're going to try to get there early at the end of July, beginning middle of August, somewhere in that time. Try to get there when they put all the new school supplies out, and you're going to get a lot of great stuff. So let me explain why I like the chart. I like the chart because all the ABCs are in one spot. They see it as a group, as it should be, and it's easier for them to say. It doesn't get lost in lieu of flashcards. Flashcards are great. I really like to use this as a quiz or as a review, but this, is really separate, and it seems like a lot of information to them to memorize. And this, if you're trying to do the song or recognize letters, you can even say, okay, find this or that on the chart, but they don't lose the pieces and stuff like that. So you can get both of them. I would use this as review, and I would use this as the teaching tool. And this goes along with shapes or numbers or colors or whatever. In the flashcards, you can definitely get 2 sets. So a set of the flashcards and the posters, what I mean by 2 sets. So the other thing I was going to say about the posters, this is really great, but it's a little bit distracting. So if I was going to actually teach off of this chart, we already knew our shapes, but if I was going to teach off this chart, I would actually go and just get one of their plain white posters. And you could do this with the letters and the numbers, but I think this is just so much easier on that. The colors and the shapes, I would go and get construction paper and cut it out and then put the name under it. And you can have them help you glue it on and make it fun or whatever, but also with the colors, I would just get several big construction paper circles and cut it out, put the name of that color on there, and let them help you glue it on there to a big poster and then put it on your wall. And I think that would just be more ideal for them to get the concrete idea of the shapes and the colors. So I think that wraps up what I was going to say, that you go to Dollar General or Dollar Tree and get your dollar supplies. You can also get, you're not going to be able to find a teacher's planner book over there. You can go to a teacher's store and get this, but just any basic calendar, something that you can write down and see what you did every day with your toddler, write down what pages you did in your book, what you did on your review, on your posters. Even write down things like, we went to the zoo today or whatever. Calendars are great for you to look back and say, this is exactly what we did. We actually did learn this. My toddler's getting this. This is challenging. I just encourage you to go ahead and pick up a calendar for you as the teacher while you're there to just kind of pencil in every day what you did. And you can see on average, we did school 3 days a week. With preschool, this is just preparation. So you are preparing them to learn how to sit down. You're going to start with 5 minutes of focus time, and then you're going to work up to 15 minutes of focus time. Preschool doesn't count if they're running around the room screaming. No, you want them sitting down. You want them to learn how to sit there, how to hold the pencil, how to make marks on the paper. This is all about just learning and enjoying to learn and having fun to learn and making it engaging. And you don't want to sit there for the first day for an hour going, okay, let's get this done, let's get this done, let's get this done. You have to sit here, you have to know this. No, it's more of like, I'm going to show you this, and can you tell me anything about it? And let's learn this. Okay, the next day, do you remember what this was? And then, so this is a bunch of just review, practice, and it's just for a short amount of time, and then you're going to build. Preschool is about learning to communicate and having them to communicate with you, because they're coming out of the baby stage and the whining and the crying and the grunting, and they're learning to use their words, and they're just now learning all these new vocabulary words. And so preschool is preparing them and saying, okay, do you know what this word means, and do you know what that word means, and helping them understand. So it's a whole new world, and they're going to love it. I mean, your preschooler is just going to love just sitting down with you and engaging with you one-on-one time. They love it. The crowns and all that, it's just, haven't met a preschooler yet that doesn't really enjoy playing school as they want to, or however they see it. Okay, so we're going to move on so that this video isn't too long. I do want to tell you the early learning standards. You can go online and print your state early learning standards. So you would type in your state initials, and like Tennessee would be TN, and then .gov.edu, and you can type in, this is 4-year-old, standards for the 4-year-old. Any age that your child is or grade level, you can find your early learning standards. That's what your preschool curriculum is going to be based on if they go to an accredited school with teachers and stuff. That's how they base their curriculum and how they're going to be, grading and standard. That's their standard for teaching. So I think it's a really good thing to just print it off. Even the teachers do not expect every child to get everything. It's not a checklist. It's more just an idea of this is the things that we should cover, talk about, learn about. It's a really great way to just know all the things that that can be covered in preschool. And a lot of parents don't know about it. So I just wanted to throw that in there. The last thing I wanted to talk about is books, because I think books are really, really important. I'm probably going to put this up, but I don't know if that's backwards or not, but I'm going to show you or talk to you about all the different kinds of books that you need to be looking for. And these books are very, very expensive. I know that, and it's really hard to have a huge library of books. And I mean, kids love books usually, and if the parent's interested, they're interested, and I just encourage you to not be afraid to go to a local thrift store or a yard sale and find books and just take them home. Take a Clorox wipe that book off if it's in great condition, and just really use it and love it. And I've picked up so many wonderful books for 50 cents and $1, and we love them. Also, you can sign up for free books. Sometimes in your area you can have, you might have where they send you books in the mail, the Imagination Library, Books to Birth, things like that. Sign up, see if there's any free books that will come in the mail to your child. Really, really awesome programs that are going on now. Okay, so here's the topics of books that you're going to want to cover. You're going to want to have books about real-world experiences like volcanoes, precipitation, oceans, deserts, real-world experiences. You want to have books that are about classic fiction, Mother Goose rhymes, Little Red Hen, The Rabbit and the Hare. Give them experience with reading some classics. Also, you want books about animals and habitats and the scientific name of like how life cycles, butterflies, frogs, just all the different things that, any book about a life cycle that gives them a knowledge of how, wow, this animal changes and stuff like that. Okay, so books, the next, books about social emotional skills, family types, different things about social emotional, about sharing, about taking turns. Those kind of books are great. About, first day of school and growing up and learning and dealing with people in life. I think that those are really awesome books. Here's one of ours, the What Daddies Do Best and Mommies Do Best. Here's one about friends. This is what I was going to talk about. Next is different peoples, different countries, different languages, different traditions. You want books about different holidays and stuff, and get them to understand that there's other different people in the world and appreciating them and celebrating them. This book is in English and Spanish, and my daughter really likes it because it has one side, one friend is talking in Spanish and one in English. And that's just a really big eye-opener. I think it's just great for them to understand that book. Those kinds of things. Then we have careers and community workers and how to take care of pets, things like that. This is a really awesome book. Tails Are Not for Pulling, how to treat your pets, and pets have feelings. Rhyming books, poem type books, and also lastly books that are going to reinforce your schooling, books about the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, the colors, the shapes. Those books are really great. So I'm going to wrap this up and to tell you that audiobooks, and there's free online books on YouTube that can read. They're professionals reading to children, really great children's books. Look it up. There's a lot of websites with free books. There's apps with free books. There's a lot of ways to get a hold of books if you're not able to just go out and buy a bunch. And also, of course, your library. So I really hope that this helped you jumpstart and get motivated to get your preschool put together for very inexpensively. Preschool is all about learning how to communicate and in really engaging the child in figuring out that learning is a lot of fun, learning is great, and I just really wish you all the luck for you and your preschooler.